Hi everyone, I'm Zhi Heng. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I am going to announce a decision, which is which university and in which country would I choose to attend. So the answer to that question is, I am going to pursue my tertiary studies in National Taiwan University to study economics. So I want to explain the series of events which got me to this place. This video might be long, but I will try to make it short and speak as fast as possible. This video will also help me in the future if I will look back at this video to find out why I decide to make the decisions I make today, and to explain to you, my audience, who comes from everywhere in this world. The demographics of this channel is quite unique, and I think it is interesting that internet would allow me to reach out to you. We live in a great era where globalization is happening and information flows everywhere, but I don't want to distract from the topic which I am here to talk about today. So in order to answer that question and in order to explain why I choose to pursue my tertiary studies in Taiwan, I will need to give you some context about myself, some context on where and how I grew up in, the environment where I was in, and what syllabus I studied before at the secondary and college level. So for the benefit of those of you who just came to my channel, my name is Zhi Heng. In secondary school, I studied IGCSE. If you don't know, IGCSE is a global syllabus but based on the British model. It is taught in English, and I studied some science subjects and some humanities subjects. I did economics, biology, maths, and 3 languages, and accounting, ICT. So my subject was quite diverse in secondary level. I think, honestly speaking, IGCSE and A-levels is one of the best education system in the world. I really enjoyed studying for A-levels and IGCSEs. So coming from this background, I'm a Malaysian by the way, having studied IGCSE and A-levels, I think the way I grew up and my educational background doesn't fit very well with the local syllabus in Malaysia. Obviously, the things I learned about is necessarily quite different from other students who did SPM, which is the National Secondary Examination and syllabus in Malaysia. So after completing my GCSEs in my secondary school, I went on to an A-level college, which is sort of an elite educational institution in the sense that there are a lot of scholars in that college and people are very competitive in terms of studies and extracurricular activities, just hyper competitive. The food isn't great, but academic resources are great. We have a good RC, resource center, and a very good university relations department who has helped me along the way. Even though I've already graduated, they still lend me a helping hand. So College UM, if you're a Malaysian and you have good grades, do consider studying in that college. But I heard that their tuition fees has been increased in recent years, which is logical because, well, the college is great and it has produced many bright students who has contributed to Malaysia in a significant manner. I definitely enjoy my time at College UM. I was a bit isolated because the environment that I grew up in doesn't necessarily fit that well with the other students, and also because I was 2 years younger than my schoolmates. They did the SPM, so they are 2 years older than me. I didn't quite fit in. I don't watch football. I'm not very good at sports. Some things can't be changed. But I'm not here to talk about my college experience. I might make a video in the future to talk about that issue specifically, but let me continue with the topic. So the way things are arranged in my college, and I think it is also arranged the same way in many UK colleges. After you've completed your AS, so the year 1 of your college, you will need to apply to universities using a predicted A2 grades. So you actually apply to universities while you're still studying for your A-levels. So at the time I wanted to study law at university, I applied to Oxford and LSE, UCL, King's and Manchester, the very good universities in the UK. So I was setting the bar pretty high, and especially Oxford. I think this is the university that I want to attend. I was considering between Cambridge and Oxford. Then, due to some reasons which I wasn't particularly proud to tell you, of course I could tell you now because I wrote the wrong name in my UCAS application form, so Oxford couldn't find my admissions test result. I was therefore rejected. But that happened nearly 2 years ago. Looking back at it from a very distant perspective, I think I was quite dumb and very naive at that time to make that kind of mistake. Writing my first name and last name in the wrong way is stupid. Do not learn from me. But due to that reason alone, I was rejected at Oxford. I did get an offer from Manchester, but I was encouraged by my seniors and my batchmates that, you deserve better in College UM. That's how people talk. I mean, some people are absolutely supportive. They just tell you, oh, you're the best students that I've ever encountered. You should try again. You should aim for the best. So I was integrated into that kind of environment, and it led me to believe that I could achieve much better. With many of my batchmates attending these Ivy League universities and some attending Oxbridge and other very great universities, I was led to believe that I could do the same. So I went to see my maths teacher, Mr. Rimmer, and he said, are you really sure you want to do it? And I told him, yes, I will try again. I wasn't angry with him for doubting me because he's a very nice teacher. I like him a lot. He's just basically a very chill guy. Right, so he said, okay, I'll be supportive, I'll write your references and everything. That's when I decided to apply again to UK and US universities. So the first time when I was still in the college, I didn't apply to US universities because I was quite lazy, and I think applying to the US university is quite troublesome. With the ComNet, there are a lot of boxes you need to fill in, and you really have to put in a lot of effort and time to complete your US application. But in the second year, I decided, well, I've quitted college, so what better time than now? I decided to just try your best and apply to all the universities that is possible for you to apply, regardless of their tuition fees. You know, once you got the offer, you're always free to apply for scholarships. So that's what I did. I applied to Columbia University through Common App. I did the SAT. You could look at my SAT grades in this channel. Not sure whether I filmed the entire experience, but you could definitely find my grades here in this channel. And this journey has been great. We're having very severe turbulence. There's been ups and downs, but my SAT grades wasn't great. I got 1520. Some people say it's great. I don't agree because, you know, we have much brighter students in this college. People with 1580s, they are applying, and in the end, they get the offers naturally because the SAT grade is just insane. So I feel kind of discouraged to apply to many universities. I thought I was doomed to fail. Therefore, I only applied to one US university in the end, which is Columbia. In the US, they call it college. University is just reserved for postgrad, but you know, I'll just refer to these colleges as universities so that it matches international standard of calling things. You know, I applied to Columbia. Didn't apply to Harvard and Yale because I thought I would get destroyed, but also because the application fee to US universities was really quite high. And in the US, you don't apply to all of them in batch. You apply to every single one and you get results from every single one. So that means applying to US universities is necessarily expensive. So it's not like in the UK where all application to universities is processed by UCAS. UCAS is a charity, registered charity, so they are able to keep the application fee to a moderately low level. It's still not low, but it is reasonable because you're applying to so many universities at the same time. So I applied to Columbia. After half a year, I think it took a long time for them to decide on my application, and they rejected me, which makes me feel nothing. Like, honestly, nothing. I didn't think I would get in, but you know, it's the standard answer from them. They say that application to Columbia is competitive this year, you should try again, shouldn't be discouraged, and it's not a reflection of your academic capabilities. You know, the same old tune. But right, I was rejected from Columbia. I was rejected but not depressed, so I was still waiting for my UK applications. I also did the TMUA, which is the entrance test for studying economics at Cambridge. So I applied to Trinity College, Cambridge, which is also a very prestigious college within Cambridge, and I think, you know, I might get in. I did the TMUA. I thought it was so difficult. It's like nothing I've done before. The maths questions, I thought if I have been given more time, I probably could have solved these questions. But if you've done TMUA before, you know that time is packed. And many people say, including Singaporeans and Indians and British folks, they say that TMUA was easy. I disagree. TMUA isn't easy, at least for me. I couldn't understand why they think TMUA is easy. It is not. They say that math or stat papers are more difficult. Maybe that's true. I've never done those. I probably did a few math questions. I thought they are quite similar to TMUA. So, right, I guess people can have differing opinions. So I did TMUA. I thought it was so difficult. I thought I couldn't get into Cambridge. I thought I wouldn't even be shortlisted. But in the end, I was shortlisted. And after getting feedback from Cambridge, I realized I didn't even do worse than the majority of applicants. In fact, I did quite good for TMUA. So TMUA was just quite difficult in general, that the majority of people doing the TMUA didn't do very well. But of course, there are always 1 to 2 students who manage to get full scores in these papers. It's inevitable, but that's just how it was with TMUA. So afterwards, I did the Cambridge interview, and after waiting for around 2 months, they told me I was rejected. The reason? Very simple. They say that my performance at the interview wasn't quite competitive as compared to the other students. So that happens in around January, I think, and it's a very depressing news. At the time, I was still working at a motorcycle spare parts company, so I was returning to the ordinary people's lives, serving people, selling tires and motorcycle spare parts. At the grassroots level, I realized, well, people are living very different lives than me. That experience has humbled me. It also has the effect of reducing my mathematical capabilities. It was quite a shame because I haven't touched maths for a very long period of time. Even though I was depressed at the time, I felt quite beaten. I thought I wasn't good enough. enough. It was a very severe hit on my confidence at the time, but eventually, as time passes, people recover. So I was still waiting for other universities to release their decisions. At the time, I didn't realize that I was accepted to UCL yet because they haven't revealed their decisions. So I applied to universities in Asia. So that includes NUS, Peking University, and National Taiwan University, which is where I ended up deciding to go. So NUS is quite a logical and obvious answer because in Singapore, tertiary education is conducted in English. So it is still internationally competitive, and NUS has very good rankings. You might not believe in rankings, but I do refer to university rankings. They might not always be accurate, but it's a good reference point, I think. I applied to NUS. I wasn't offered a place. Not sure why. Whenever you have these universities, they always give you the standard answer. Whatever, competition is high. You've done your best. All the best to you. But I did appeal for them to change their decision. They did not. I also applied to other universities. For example, Peking University in China. I applied to study economics there, but I did consent to being put to the other colleges in Peking. So in the end, I was put to the College of Government to study politics and public administration. So it wasn't my first option. I wasn't even quite sure why I included that course. I admit I hadn't thought properly at that time when I put politics as one of my options. I really didn't want to study politics. I do not think this line of studies would be beneficial to my future. I might be somewhat interested in politics and history. I'm a huge fan of A-level history. I've done the subject. I think it has provided me with personal growth much more than the other A-level subjects. But I don't think studying politics at university is the right thing to do for me. So I waited. Eventually, I realized I have also been admitted to National Taiwan University, and I got a place to study economics there, which is my desired course. So that's what became of me. That's my university application journey. It's been a long process. I've been doing it since I was 17, I think. When I initially applied to universities, I was quite naive. I was inexperienced, but after 2 years, I think I've been through the entire process. I've grown in the process. This channel is really valuable because you get to see my progress right from the very start, but the decision has to be made. You know, I can't attend multiple universities at the same time because there's only one me. In a recent video that I published, I think a few days ago, I talked about why I think studying in the UK isn't the best option. I don't think that college should bankrupt you, or not bankrupt you, but should cost that much. I could get a loan, that's possible, but I want the freedom of being able to come out of university, but at the same time not being broke or not being in huge debt. I also applied to multiple scholarships, but Malaysian institutions decided not to give me a scholarship, which is quite weird given that I applied with offers from a few of the best universities in the world, also with marvelous A-level grades. But sometimes you have to listen to fate, whatever fate has assigned to you. It's not in my nature to give up. Some people say that I've been giving myself too much pressure when it comes to Oxbridge. It's actually from one of you who commented on my channel. Well, it's a shame that I didn't get to Oxbridge, but I guess I could always apply at the postgraduate level. I'm still gonna try anyway. As for my studies in Taiwan, I'm going to fly to Taipei this month. I hope I will have a good time there. I hope I could mix well with the local students, but I foresee I'm going to have quite a different life. That's it for this video, I guess. If you want to follow my journey, or if you are similarly concerned about certain topics and niches that I do in this channel, feel free to subscribe and like this video, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye!